What's the pain in me you wish you could heal?
Oh, the loss that you've had. Because I think that people think that adoption is like the land of happy endings. With like glitter, sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns. And it's really not. From day one, I have always said that somebody's biggest loss became my biggest gain.
Ooh. Why did we choose to adopt?
Wow, that's a... Well, first, I'm adopted. So adoption always seemed like something cool that I'd want to do. I never thought I'd be able to do it once I realized I was gay. And when we finally talked about it, thought about it, it seemed like the only option for me would be adoption. Because I'm adopted. And because in exploring it, and you can remember when I read the book and everything else about all different ways we could become parents, that was always the right way for us.
I just didn't want either of us to be the biological parent.
Well, I know.
Honestly.
You were...
I didn't like that
idea. I wouldn't have minded that idea.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have mattered.
Yeah, but...
But I also knew that we wanted a child as bad as the kids we adopted needed parents. And we didn't adopt healthy kids. We adopted sick kids who are now all healthy adults. I don't know, it just always seemed like the right thing.
Why did you adopt me?
Well, I never thought I'd be a dad, and growing up as a gay man, especially, you never think you're gonna have kids, especially at my age. Nowadays, gays, are adopting, much more regularly. And but I never thought I'd be a dad. And growing up as a kid that was in foster care and who eventually became, was adopted, for me it was just a no-brainer. I knew I wanted to have kids even before I met Poppy. So that was my goal. So it was in the cards for me. I didn't know how that was going to happen, but the moment I got the opportunity, I ran for it.
Mom, why did you adopt me?
Well, I feel like you are my son. And I feel like a long time ago, your dad and I, we made a decision on how our family was going to be formed. We talked about if we wanted to have a biological family formed through biological means, right? Mm-hmm. And we made a conscious effort that wasn't the route that we wanted our family to be formed through. And so when we heard about you, I knew immediately that you were my son. Like I know that people laugh when people say, well, I know that God told me something. And I've never heard the audible voice of God ever say Melissa or anything like that to me. But if there was ever a time that was probably the closest to an audible voice, it was probably then. And I just knew that I knew that I knew that I knew that you were my son. Before I ever laid eyes on you, I knew that on the way to the hospital, the day we brought you home, and the whole year that it took to get through that year and 10 days that it took to get through that process. And I adopted you because I love you. You completed our family. The first time, your sister completed it and put the period at the end of the sentence the second time. But you brought a completion to us that we never knew before.
You have anything you want to get off your chest?
Nah, not really.
You said everything you needed to say that you feel like you have never been able to express to whoever. Your biological mom, your father. I meant to ask you about that.
What?
Your biological mom and your biological father. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, now you're adult. Like, how do you feel about?
I want to go to like see them, maybe like live with them for a little bit, or just to like go out there, see how it's like to be with them instead of like you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Just to get away, I guess you could say. My dad, I want to meet him, but I don't think he wants to.
Why do you say that?
Because he hasn't been here. We've only talked on the phone like 4 or 5 times. Besides that.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
You about to cry? Huh?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Do you think your biological father doesn't love you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's it. I spoke with him. He's on drugs. I don't know if you know that. You know that? And sometimes when people are on drugs, they're not their selves. Like if you're dealing with someone that's on drugs, that's not the person that raised you or whatever. That's a whole different person. So you can't deal with that person as if, oh, that's Trevor. No, that's Trevor on drugs. You can't deal, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He loves you. He has issues. Don't ever think that your mom or your biological mother or father do not love you. They do. I've spoken with him. I went out there. I was trying to see him, but I told you about I guess that's his wife or whoever. He needs to get himself together. And they have missed out on something so perfect.
What is one topic you are hesitant to talk to me about and why?
Oh boy.
I love this question.
I know you love that question.
Of course.
Well, we both know the answer to that. The fact that I was adopted. And not only was I hesitant, you didn't know it. I didn't tell any of you anything about it. And the reason that I was so hesitant and didn't want to do it was because I thought you would feel like you didn't have any family, because I know nothing about my birth family. And
well, you don't know very much.
I know, yes, a very small amount, and I have chosen not to pursue finding out more because I just feel very blessed by the family that adopted me and the community that embraced me. And I've always felt like it was disrespectful to them. And I didn't feel like anything was missing. I felt like I hit the jackpot. I had a wonderful family, a mom and a dad and grandparent and aunts and uncles and cousins and a wonderful community that I grew up in. And I just felt no need to look for people who created me, because whatever their circumstances were, they weren't able to become parents for me. They couldn't do it. They had made a decision, and I always felt like they were in the position that if they wanted to find me, they could have, and they did not. So why am I going to go try and find them? I was adopted at 21 days old. As far as I'm concerned, they really, they did the best they could do at the time, and my life began at 21 days, as far as I'm concerned.
What are you hesitant to tell me? This should be good.
Oh, dang. I don't want to cry.
What do you mean?
It's like the adoption. Like, I know that me and you have different points of view on it, but like adoption, I don't like talking about it because I know you like getting into it and like talking about it. I don't like talking about it or believing it because outside the family is like bad, and like even though like me and you know that we're good kids, like when we go around that side of the family, they think like we have like a bad reputation.
Yeah.
And I don't like how people start like assuming that we're bad kids just because we came from a certain person.
Yeah.
And that certain person lived a certain way.
Yeah. They base it off of that?
Yeah, like if we were raised by her or like if
Yeah.
we're raised by him. I don't like thinking that we were raised by them. I like thinking about we were raised by our mom and dad.
People should honestly just look at me and you like how we are. They shouldn't be like, oh, they came from this person,
Yeah,
they came
that's
from
what-
that person.
so
Look
I-
at how their parents turned out.
Like how like we go around that certain type of family, there's certain people and they're like, oh, those are so and so's kids,
Yeah.
and they're bad, or they do this, or they do drugs, or they do alcohol.
Yeah.
Like even though they don't see us, they think that we do it just because she did it.
Yeah. To be honest, that's on them because it's like you don't take the time to get to know us, then you're over here like assuming stuff when all you have to do is just like talk to us.
Yeah, so I kind of get mad about.
What is one experience you wish us to have together?
Oh. One experience. This is weird that this is coming to my brain first. I mean, I would love for us to travel more together, but we've done that.
Right.
I want us to do more. But.
Sure.
We've talked about this some already, and maybe this is because the guys are going through this right now, but I know we don't want to adopt, but I am very interested in the future, not soon future, but maybe a little distant future. I am looking forward to opening up our home to like foster teenagers and looking into that more.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool to do with you and something I would never do on my own.
Sure.
Or anyone else. But yeah, I think we would be really good at that. We're a great team. And yeah, that is something I would like to do with you.
Okay.